It's time for your morning tea. It's time for your morning tea. Today's morning tea is be careful of those who can call out your flaws but are oblivious to their own. Again, be careful of those who can call out your flaws but they are oblivious to their own. Prior to sipping on this tea, I want you to look to your right hand side, see that subscribe button and that notification bell. If you have not pressed that yet, I want you to press it so that you can receive the notifications of my uploads immediately. Sip time. Be careful of those who can call out your flaws but are oblivious to their own. I woke up this morning and I realized that someone has been in my life and they were able to call out my flaws, but they were unable to see their own. They were unable to recognize their own because they were looking out of a window that was stained with dust, dirty spots, a lot of buildup. Now, don't get me wrong. When they called out my flaws, a person who has a stained window, they can still recognize when it's raining outside. Therefore, they can still see when your window is dirty. But the thing is that if they're looking outside of a dirty window as well, how are they able to recognize your flaws from theirs? Your dirt from theirs? Your buildup from theirs? Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're accurate. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're accurate. They will call you out. They will call you out. They will call you out. But why can't they call themselves out? They see right through their window, their dingy, their dirty window, their window that's built up, that has built up, has accumulated over the years, and they can recognize your flaws, but they can't recognize their own. Now, the funny thing is that a person who has built up, they can recognize your flaws because guess what? Some of your flaws reflect their flaws. So they're throwing off on you. They don't want to address what they have going on in their lives, but they want to address what you have going on in your life. So they're telling you clean your window, clean your act up or whatever, right? But when you begin to call them out, it's a problem. It's a problem. I mean, if we're in this together, right? If you can call my flaws out, I can call your flaws out, right? But sometimes there's a person inside of any relationship that cannot handle the truth. They think they can, but they are unable to handle the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes that person may be you. Sometimes you may disregard what the person is saying and say, hey, your flaw is a flaw. And you're like, oh, no, that's not my problem. I don't have a problem. I don't have that flaw. So what I'm going to tell you today is when someone calls your flaws out to you, someone tells you that you have a spot on your window or you have some buildup within you, I want you to take it and I want you to review it. Do self-introspection. Do some introspection, right? Review what they have called out because sometimes they are not wrong. Sometimes they are accurate. Sometimes they are on point. They're right. So you have to give it to them. So instead of calling their flaws out, what you're going to have to do is go clean their window for them. Sometimes they're asleep. You know how they say don't sleep, or you sleep. You're asleep. Sometimes they have to fall asleep. Clean their window for them. So when they start seeing clearly, they'll be like, oh, that wasn't you, that was me. And they may not even admit it to you. That's fine. As long as they clean their act up and you have a clean act, then you're fine. Both of you guys can see when it's raining outside. Both of you guys can see when sunflowers are springing forth as well. Be careful of those who are able to call out your flaws, yet are oblivious to others. Someone told me a long time ago that you can buy a suit from a naked man. Most people won't get that. Like, if the naked man is selling his suit, and he knows that he's standing out there naked, why won't he put it on? That's not your problem. Your problem is that you need this suit. If he's naked and he doesn't think that he needs anything on, that's his business. Wherever he got the suit from that he's selling to you, he can go find another one and place on his body and cover himself up. But he wants to be uncovered and you want to be covered, child. Look your best. Let him stand out there looking like a fool. Because some fools are wise. That's your tea. That was a cute little story at the end. That's your tea. Sip, sip. Until next time.